Good morning, Year 6. We are on to Tuesday's lesson 2 of our English this week, remembering yesterday that we magpied. So from yesterday's work, you should have a word bank in your book, and then you should have chosen some of those words and phrases to stretch into sentences. Those sentences with our new vocabulary will really help us to put together our draft for this week, remembering that we can use those sentences throughout our writing and pull them together with cohesion, with openers, with prepositions, with synonyms. So today, for today's lesson, we are drafting. From yesterday's sentences, as I said, we are going to draft our setting description of the street, remembering before the air raid. So that's just a reminder. We don't want to describe any destruction just yet. It's before the air raid. So the lovely, clean, pristine street. We need to make sure when we are describing that we can stretch enough and we don't have limited sentences. And a really good way to do this is using our senses. So I would like you to write sight, sound, feeling, smell and taste in your book, please. And then next to each one, next to each sense, when you have a look at these images that we used yesterday, I want you to fill in some words and phrases or even sentences if you're challenging for platinum for each of the senses. So, for example, sound. In my pictures, I can see some cars. I can also see a tram. So in sound, I am going to write about the tram. A tram clattered past. Clattered meaning making a noise on the tracks, so almost a metallic sound. It's metallic sound echoing through the otherwise dull street. So I am not only describing the sound, but I'm also using a technique called juxtaposition. And this is a technique you will learn more about in high school. But juxtaposition means when we compare two very opposite ideas. So here, my opposite ideas are, I have got the noisy tram with clattered past. I've put that in yellow now. And then I've got otherwise dull street in purple. One is really noisy, one is really quiet. Juxtaposition, putting two opposite ideas next to each other. So that's my example for sound. I would like you to fill in the rest of the sites with some sentences or phrases. Here are your pictures that you need to use as your stimulus today. Pause the video now and have a go at filling in all of the sentences with some words, phrases or sentences. Once you have done that, you can then use some of those sentences, the best ones, to begin to draft. Remembering by the end of this week, you need to be able to write your setting description. So I have got a tram clattered past, its metallic sound echoing through the otherwise dull street. I am then going to need to use cohesion to tie that sentence into another one. Once it had passed. So by saying it, I'm using a pronoun rather than saying the tram again. I want to use a pronoun for cohesion. Once it had passed, so I'm linking this sentence to the last one. Once the tram had gone past, the children looked quickly down the road and skipped to the other side. So here I'm using a cohesive opener to tie the sentences together. I want you to now have a go, after you've seen my model, at drafting your setting description, remembering that you are using all of your senses. Have a go if you want a challenge at using this idea of juxtaposition that we've included today.